Come on students, now we'll start the next problem on accounts from incomplete records. So far we have completed 5 short questions. Still some more short questions are there. After completing that we'll go to the main problem. Now we'll start problem number 6. See the 6th problem. Ascertain total sales from the following. Opening stock 20,000, closing stock 10,000, purchases are 90,000, rate of gross profit 25% on cost. We have to find out the sales. We are given the information regarding opening stock, closing stock, purchases and rate of gross profit. So first of all, when opening stock, closing stock and purchases are given, we can easily find out cost of goods sold, COGS. Previous problem I told you the formula for COGS, opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. First we ascertain COGS. So sales, how much we have to find out? COGS, opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. So it is given opening stock 20,000, purchase are given 90,000, closing stock 10,000 given in the problem. So 20,000 plus 90 minus 10, 1 lakh rupees COGS, cost of goods sold. Now it is given the gross profit is 25% of cost. It is given specifically 25% of cost. Cost का मतलब होता है COGS, cost of goods sold. The meaning of cost is cost of goods sold. So 25% of cost means 25% of COGS. So gross profit is 25% of COGS. COGS we got 1 lakh. So 25% of 1 lakh is 25,000. So we got gross profit. Finally, what we have to find out, how much are the sales? Now again you have to remember the formula. Sales is equal to cost of goods sold plus gross profit. Cost of goods sold plus gross profit. So cost of goods sold we got 1 lakh rupees and gross profit we got 25,000. To add up 1 lakh plus 25,000, 1 lakh 25,000 rupees are the sales. That's it. So remember, information जो problem में दिया है उसको use करके एक एक item मालूम करना. Opening stock, purchases, closing stock are given. We can easily find out the COGS. By using COGS, we can calculate gross profit. Once you get the COGS and gross profit, you can easily find out the sales. Sales is equal to COGS plus gross profit. That's all. 7th problem. Ascertain the opening stock. We have to find out the opening stock. Sales are given 1,20,000. Rate of gross profit is 25% on sales. GP, rate of GP कभी cost के ऊपर देता, कभी sales पे देता. Previous problem it was given 25% on cost. Now in this problem it is given 25% on sales. Sales already given 1,20,000. तो 1,20,000 sales है और gross profit 25% of sales है. तो 25% of 1,20,000 will get 30,000. Purchases are 80,000, closing stock are 30,000. We have to find out the opening stock. Simply you have to manipulate. Opening stock we have to find out. Gross profit is given 25% of sales. So 25% of 1,20,000, 30,000 GP we got. Now COGS, the formula for COGS is sales minus gross profit. Sales में से gross profit को निकाल दो, you will get COGS. या COGS में ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट को ऐड कर दो सेल्स. यहां पर लिखे सेल्स इज इक्वल टू COGS प्लस ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट. सेल्स अगर मैं इस जीपी को इधर ले लिया, अगर ये RHS पे से LHS पे ले लिया तो ये प्लस जीपी इधर आकर माइनस जीपी हो जाएगा. तो इसका मतलब सेल्स माइनस जीपी करेंगे तो COGS. सेल्स माइनस ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट यू विल गेट COGS. तो सेल्स आर 1,20,000, gross profit is 30,000. तो 90,000 we got COGS, cost of goods sold. Now we substitute COGS is equal to opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. This is the formula for COGS. So 90,000, COGS is 90,000 is equal to opening stock, nahi malum, we have to find out. Purchase are given 80,000, closing stock is given 30,000. So 90,000 is equal to, now we take all the values to LHS and keep opening stock on RHS. Opening stock पहले से RHS में है, उस RHS में ही रहने दो. ये दो वैल्यूज को LHS पे, तो ये प्लस 80 will become minus 80, minus 30 will become plus 30. तो 90 minus 80 plus 30, 40,000 is the opening stock. That's all. This is the 7th problem. Now 8th problem. From the following ascertain total sales. ये total sales मालूम करने के लिए we have to make total debtors account. Because we will sell the goods to debtors. So through debtors account we can be able to get the sales. Debtors on 1st January 2015, ये opening debtors. Cash received from debtors during the year. Return inwards. Return inwards का मतलब sales return. दो टाइप के रिटर्न्स होते हैं, एक रिटर्न इनवर्ड होता है, एक रिटर्न आउटवर्ड होता है. रिटर्न इनवर्ड का मतलब सेल्स रिटर्न एंड रिटर्न आउटवर्ड का मतलब परचेज रिटर्न. एंड बैड डेट्स. Debtors on 31st December 2015, closing debtors and cash sales as per cash book. See, total sales अगर मालूम करना है तो we need two types of sales, cash sales and credit sales. Cash sales are given in the problem. No worry about cash sales. Only credit sale we have to find out. For credit sale we have to make opening debtors, debtors account, total debtors account. देखिए, debtor is an asset. Remember the rules which I am explaining now. Debtor is an asset. All assets will show debit balance. All assets will show debit balance. तो ये total debtors account में debit side to balance brought down, ये opening balance है. Balance brought down ये opening है, debit side. Opening जब debit side लिए तो closing will be taken on the credit side. Last item by balance carried down, ये जगह छोड़ दीजिए, ये space छोड़कर last में by balance carried down closing. तो opening debtors debit side, closing debtors credit side. So we have taken opening debtors 10,000, closing debtors 20,000. Now it is given cash received from debtors. It is given in the problem. Cash received from debtors. What is the entry? Cash account debtor to debtors. The entry will be cash account debtor to debtors. तो debtors को credit करेंगे by cash 95,000. So you have to remember the entries. What are the journal entries? When cash is received, cash account debtor to debtors. Similarly, return inward. Return inward का मतलब sales return. The entry for sales return is sales return account debtor to debtors. Sales return account debtor to debtors. तो debtors को credit करो by return inward, sales return 2,000. Bad debts. The entry for bad debts is bad debts account debtor to debtors. Bad debts account debtor to debtors. तो debtors को credit करेंगे by bad debts. तो we got all the credit items. Cash आ गया, return inward आ गया, bad debts आ गया, balance आ गया, closing. Take the total 1,20,000. From 120 deduct 10,000. 1,10,000 are the credit sale. 1,10,000 is the credit sale. Now total sales is equal to cash sales plus credit sale. Cash sale 35,000 given in the problem and credit sale 1,10,000 just now we have calculated. So 1,45,000 rupees are the total sales. Now ninth problem. Come on students, now we'll start the next problem, that is problem number 9. See the ninth, 8 problems we have completed so far. Ninth problem you see. Ninth problem is calculate sales. Opening debtors are 35,000. Cash received from debtors including bills receivable 1,60,000. Then opening bills receivable, closing bills receivable, closing debtors. So in this problem we are given the information regarding debtors and bills receivable. So we need to open two accounts. One account for debtors, the other account for bills receivable. Now see here, total debtors account and bills receivable account. These two accounts we have opened. So after opening the account, first of all you have to take the opening and closing balances given in the problem. Debtor and bills receivable both are assets. Both are assets. And assets will show debit balance. So opening balance you should take on debit side and closing balance you should take it on credit side. So opening balance to balance brought down opening, by balance carried down closing. Similarly, bills receivable to balance brought down opening, by balance carried down closing. So whenever we have to open this account, total debtors account, bills receivable account, remember the rule of taking opening balance on debit side and closing balance on credit side, last item, right? Now in our problem, opening debtors are given 35,000. So I have taken opening debtors 35,000. First item I have taken. Second item is cash received from debtors. Cash received from debtors is 1,60,000 including the amount received on bills receivable. So we have to find out how much is the amount received on bills receivable afterwards. But remember, when we receive the cash from debtors, what is the journal entry? What is the entry when we receive the cash from debtors? Cash account debtor to debtors account. तो debtors account should be credited by cash. Debtors account should be credited by cash. We'll see how much is the amount cash received from debtors. Opening bills receivable, closing bills receivable. In the problem, the next two items given are opening bills receivable, closing. So bills receivable opening 5,000 given, and by balance carried down closing 3,000. So opening debit side, closing credit side. 5,000, 3,000. Then last item given, closing debtors. Closing debtors are given as 28,000. So closing debtors I have taken 28,000. Now 1,60,000 rupees are given as cash received from debtors, including bills receivable. So in that 1,60,000 is a cash received on account of bills receivable also. So we have to find out how much. Opening bills how much? 5,000. Given in the problem, opening bills. And closing bills how much given in the problem? 3,000. तो beginning of the year 5,000 के बिल थे, end of the year में 3,000 के बिल हो गए. तो कितने बिल्स का कैश आ गया? 2,000 रुपीज. 5,000 माइनस 3,000. 5,000 माइनस 3,000, तो 2,000 रुपीज बिल्स रिसीवेबल का कैश आ गया. तो एंट्री विल बी कैश अकाउंट डेटर टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल. तो बिल्स रिसीवेबल को क्रिएट करेंगे बाय कैश, बैलेंसिंग फिगर 2,000. Again I repeat, it is not specifically given in the problem. It is given that opening bills are 5,000 and closing bills are 3,000. तो remaining 2,000 rupees का कैश आ गया. It is understood. जब बिल्स कम हो गए तो इसका मतलब बिल का पैसा आ गया. कैश अकाउंट डेटा टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल बाय कैश 2,000. तो प्रॉब्लम में जो 1,60,000 रुपीस दिया हुआ है कैश रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम डेटार्स इंक्लूडिंग बिल्स रिसीवेबल, इन ब्रैकेट इट इज गिवन इंक्लूडिंग बिल्स रिसीवेबल. तो बिल्स रिसीवेबल से कितना आया? 2,000 आया. तो सब्ट्रैक्ट कर देंगे 1,60,000 माइनस 2,000. 1,60,000 minus 2,000, that means 1,58,000 rupees are received from debtors. 1,58,000 rupees are received from debtors. Entry will be cash account debtor to debtors. तो debtors को credit कर दिया by cash 1,58,000. Now this account is closed. Bills receivable account is closed. Now we have to find out what is the balancing figure in debtors. That balancing figure in debtors are the credit sales. Why we are preparing this account? To find out credit sale. When we sell the goods to debtors, entry will be debtors account debtor to sales. जब goods बेचते हैं debtors को, तो sales को credit करते हैं, debtors को debit करते हैं. Debtors account debtor to sales. Now find out the total on the credit side. 1,58,000 plus 28,000, you will get 1,86,000. From 1,86,000 subtract 35,000 minus 35,000. So balancing figure 1,51,000. This 1,51,000 is what? Credit sale. Credit sale. We are not given any cash sales. In this problem, we are not given any cash sales. So total sales are 1,51,000. This 1,51,000. That's it. This is the end of problem number 9. Now you see the problem number 10. From the following information, you are required to calculate total purchases. Previous problem we have calculated total sales. Now we have to calculate total purchases. Cash purchases are given. When we say total purchases, it means cash purchases plus credit purchases. दोनों को मिला दो total purchases. तो creditors at the beginning of the year, 1st January creditors are 40,000. Cash paid to creditors 55,800. Return outward, purchase return. Return outward means purchase return, and closing creditors are given. We are not given bills payable. We are given only creditors, right? So we open the account total creditors account. I told you, just now I told you, all assets will show debit balance, all liabilities will show credit balance. Now creditor is a liability. यहाँ पर debtor था तो asset था, और यहाँ creditor है liability है, तो opposite rule. Here opening balance debit side, closing balance credit side. अब उल्टा कर देंगे. Opening balance credit side and closing balance debit side. Closing balance debit side. All liabilities will show credit balance. All assets will show debit balance. तो ये asset था, debit side to balance brought on. ये liability है, तो opening balance will be taken on the credit side by balance brought down. Opening 40,000. Opening 40,000. Next item given is creditors on 1st January 40,000 we have taken. First item. Second item, cash paid to creditors. When we pay cash to creditors, what is the journal entry? Creditors account debtor to cash. Cash is going out. So we credit cash. To whom we are paying? Creditors. So creditors account debtor to cash. So creditors को debit करिए, debit side to cash 55,800. Second item over. Next item is return outward. Return outward का मतलब purchase return. The entry for purchase return is creditors account debtor to purchase return. Note down the entries. If you can't remember, just keep a piece of paper beside you and write down the entry. Return outward means purchase return. The entry for purchase return is creditors account debtor to purchase return. तो creditors को debit करेंगे to return outward purchase return 1,300. Next item, creditors on 31st Jan, closing creditors. When we have taken opening creditors credit side, closing creditors will be taken on the debit side 62,000. That's all. We have taken all the items. Now we have to find out how much are the credit purchases. Take the total on the debit side. 55,800 plus 1,300 plus 62,000. ये तीनों amount problem में दे दिया. तो add up the three amount, you'll get 1,19,100. From 1,19,100 subtract 40,000. So balancing figure you'll get 79,100. This 79,100 is the credit purchases. And total purchases means cash purchases plus credit purchase. Here total purchase is equal to cash purchase plus credit. Cash purchase are given in the problem first line 15,600. So 15,600 cash purchase. Credit purchase we have calculated 79,100. Total purchase are 94,700. That's it. That's it. So this is the problem number 10. Now see the problem number 11. 11th problem. From the following information you are required to calculate total purchases. Again just like the previous problem. But here we have calculated total purchases by having only one account, total creditors account. लेकिन अब जो प्रॉब्लम करने जाएंगे यहाँ पर total creditors and also bills payable. Bills payable, two accounts we have to open. From the following information you are required to calculate total purchases. Opening balance of bills payable, opening balance of creditors, closing balance of bills payable, closing balance of creditors. Opening closing balances are given of creditors and bills payable. So we have opened total creditors account, bills payable account. Two account we have opened. Now we'll take the opening and closing balances. Just in the previous problem I told you, creditor is a liability, bills payable is a liability. Both are liabilities. And all the liabilities will show credit balance. Remember this point. Now credit side. By balance brought down opening 6,000. Here also by balance brought down opening 5,000. So opening balance of creditors, opening balance of bills payable. Similarly closing balance of creditors, to balance carried down. जब opening credit side लिए तो closing debit side, opposite side, to balance carried down, closing 4,000. Similarly closing balance of bills payable, to balance carried down 7,000. So problem में first 4 points are given the same thing. Opening balance of creditors, closing balance of creditors, opening balance of bills payable, closing balance of bills payable. We have taken, right? Till now it is clear. Now next point given in the problem is, this one. Cash paid to creditors during the year. Cash paid to creditors during the year. What is the entry? Creditors account debtor to cash. जब कैश पे करे तो क्रेडिटर्स अकाउंट डेटा टू कैश, तो क्रेडिटर्स को डेबिट करिए टू कैश 30,200 पोस्ट हो गया. नेक्स्ट बिल्स पेबल डिस्चार्ज्ड ड्यूरिंग द ईयर. बिल्स पेबल डिस्चार्ज्ड ड्यूरिंग द ईयर, दैट मींस कैश पेड फॉर बिल्स पेबल. इट मींस कैश पेड फॉर बिल्स पेबल. एंट्री विल बी बिल्स पेबल अकाउंट डेटा टू कैश, तो बिल्स पेबल को डेबिट करेंगे टू कैश 8,900. नेक्स्ट वन इज रिटर्न आउटवर्ड. Return outward means purchase return. Entry will be creditors account debtor to purchase return. तो creditors को debit करेंगे to purchase return 1,200. Next is cash purchases. The cash purchase will take lastly. हो गया. We have taken all the items. Whatever is given in the problem, we have posted in the ledger accounts. Now, before closing the account of creditors, we must close the account of bills payable. पहले क्रेडिटर्स को क्लोज नहीं करना, पहले बिल्स पेबल को क्लोज करना, क्योंकि इसका बैलेंस जो है क्रेडिटर्स में जाएगा. Now, see here, opening creditors, opening bills payable are given, closing bills payable are given, and how much amount paid on bills payable, that is given. Now take the total on the debit side. 8,900 plus 7,000, 15,900. 15,900 debit side. Credit side 15,900 minus 5,000. The balancing figure 10,900. What this 10,900 represent? It is the bill accepted during the year. It is the bill accepted during the year. The entry for bills accepted during the year. Creditors account data to bills payable. क्रेडिटर्स अकाउंट डेटा टू बिल्स पेबल. तो बिल्स पेबल को क्रिएट करेंगे बाय क्रेडिटर्स बैलेंसिंग फिगर, और क्रेडिटर्स को डेबिट करेंगे टू बिल्स पेबल 10,900. तो बिल्स पेबल को क्रेडिट करना, क्रेडिटर्स को डेबिट करना, ये ड्यूरिंग द ईयर बिल एक्सेप्ट करे सो है, राइट. तो बैलेंसिंग फिगर 10,900 वी हैव टेकन. दिस अकाउंट इज क्लोज्ड, बिल्स पेबल ओवर. नाउ कम टू द total creditors account. Total creditors account debit side, if you take the total, you are getting 46,300. From 46,300 subtract 6,000. The balancing figure is 40,300. This 40,300 are the credit purchases. The entry for credit purchases account data to creditors. Purchases account data to creditors. तो creditors को credit करेंगे by purchases. By credit purchases balancing figure 40,900. This is what we want. ये दोनों अकाउंट बनाने का मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, क्या मालूम करना है हमको? This credit purchases and this is the balancing figure 40,300. Right? Now total purchases का मतलब cash purchases plus credit purchase. Cash purchases are given in the problem first line. No, last line. Cash purchases are given 25,800. 25,800 is the cash purchase given in the problem. 25,800 cash purchase. And credit purchase we got 40,300. दोनों को ऐड कर लो, 66,100 is the total purchases. This is the end of problem number 11. Now last problem, short problems में last problem, 12. Calculate total sales. Previous problem we have calculated total purchases. Now we have to calculate total sales. We are given the information regarding total debtors and bills receivable. परचेजेस के लिए हमको क्या चाहिए था? टोटल क्रेडिटर्स और बिल्स पेबल. और सेल्स मालूम करने के लिए वी रिक्वायर टोटल डेटर्स एंड बिल्स रिसीवेबल. तो इंफॉर्मेशन इज गिवन. कैलकुलेट टोटल सेल्स. बिल्स रिसीवेबल इन द बिगिनिंग, डेटर्स इन द बिगिनिंग. बिगिनिंग का मतलब ओपनिंग डेटर्स एंड ओपनिंग बिल्स रिसीवेबल. वी हैव ओपन टू अकाउंट्स, टोटल डेटर्स अकाउंट, बिल्स रिसीवेबल अकाउंट. आई टोल्ड यू ऑलरेडी, डेटर्स एंड बिल्स रिसीवेबल आर एसेट्स. And all assets will show debit balance. तो डेटर्स और बिल्स रिसीवेबल दोनों भी एसेट है, दोनों को भी डेबिट बैलेंस. तो डेबिट साइड टू बैलेंस ब्रॉट डाउन ओपनिंग, यहां पर भी डेबिट साइड टू बैलेंस ब्रॉट डाउन ओपनिंग, राइट. तो व्हाट इज द ओपनिंग डेटर? ओपनिंग बिल्स रिसीवेबल गिवन 5,000. I have taken 5,000. Then opening debtors are given 30,000. I have taken 30,000 opening debtor. First two items I have taken. The third item is bills receivable encashed during the year. बिल्स रिसीवेबल एनकैश्ड ड्यूरिंग द ईयर, यानी बिल्स रिसीवेबल के ऊपर कैश आ गया. तो एंट्री कैश अकाउंट डेटा टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल. कैश अकाउंट डेटा टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल. तो बिल्स रिसीवेबल को क्रेडिट करेंगे बाय कैश 18,000. थर्ड आइटम हो. नेक्स्ट आइटम कैश रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम डेटर्स. द एंट्री फॉर कैश रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम डेटर्स, कैश अकाउंट डेटा टू डेटर्स. तो डेटर्स को क्रेडिट करिए बाय कैश 75,800. नेक्स्ट आइटम बैड डेट्स रिटन ऑफ. बैड डेट्स रिटन ऑफ एंट्री विल बी बैड डेट्स अकाउंट डेटा टू डेटर्स. बैड डेट्स अकाउंट डेटा टू डेटर्स. तो डेटर्स को क्रेडिट करिए बाय बैड डेट्स 2,300. नेक्स्ट आइटम इज रिटर्न इनवर्ड सेल्स रिटर्न. Return inward means sales return. Entry is sales return account data to debtors account. Sales return account data to debtors account. So debtors will be created by sales return, return inward 1,400. देन बिल्स रिसीवेबल डिसऑनर्ड, अगर बिल्स रिसीवेबल ऑनर्ड अगर हो जाता, पैसे आ जाते, तो कैश अकाउंट डेटार टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल, कैश अकाउंट डेटार टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल इफ इट इज ऑनर्ड. इफ इट इज डिसऑनर्ड उल्टा कर दो, डेटार्स अकाउंट डेटार टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल. अगर कैश आ गया तो ऑनर बोलते, कैश नहीं आया तो डिसऑनर. अगर कैश आ गया ऑनर्ड हो गया तो कैश अकाउंट डेटार टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल. अगर डिसऑनर्ड हो गया तो कैश को डेबिट नहीं करेंगे, किसको डेबिट करेंगे? डेटार्स को. डेटार्स अकाउंट डेटार टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल. तो डेटार्स के डेबिट साइड टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल डिसऑनर्ड 2800 और बिल्स रिसीवेबल को क्रेडिट करेंगे बाय डेटार्स डिसऑनर्ड 2800. तो डेटार्स में डेबिट करें 2800 और बिल्स रिसीवेबल को क्रेडिट करेंगे 2800. राइट? डेटार्स अकाउंट डेटार टू बिल्स रिसीवेबल फॉर द बिल डिसऑनर्ड. नेक्स्ट बिल्स रिसीवेबल एट द एंड, क्लोजिंग बिल्स रिसीवेबल. तो बिल्स रिसीवेबल अकाउंट में क्लोजिंग बिल्स रिसीवेबल यहां पर है बाय बैलेंस कैरिड डाउन 15,400. ओपनिंग डेबिट साइड, क्लोजिंग क्रेडिट साइड. उसी तरह बिल्स रिसीवेबल, बैड डेट्स रिकवर्ड, बैड डेट्स रिकवर्ड. एंट्री फॉर बैड डेट्स रिकवर्ड इज कैश अकाउंट डेटार टू बैड डेट्स रिकवर्ड अकाउंट. द एंट्री इज कैश अकाउंट डेटार टू बैड डेट्स रिकवर्ड अकाउंट. तो ये एंट्री में ना डेटार्स आ रहा ना बिल्स रिसीवेबल आ रहा. तो दिस बैड डेट्स रिकवर्ड एंट्री विल नॉट अपीयर ईदर इन द ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट नॉर इन द बिल्स रिसीवेबल अकाउंट. तो यू हैव टू गिव अ नोट. In this problem, you have to give a note. Cash bad debts recovered will not appear in total debtors account and to bills receivable account. The entry for bad debts recovered is cash account debtor to bad debts recovered account. तो ये ट्रांजैक्शन जो दिया प्रॉब्लम है उसको लेना ही नहीं, इग्नोर कर देना, नोट दे देना. नेक्स्ट डेटार्स एट द एंड, क्लोजिंग डेटार्स यहां पर है बाय बैलेंस कैरिड डाउन, क्लोजिंग डेटार्स 95,000. देन कैश सेल्स, लास्ट आइटम कैश सेल्स. कैश सेल्स को तो अलग लेंगे बाद में, कैश सेल्स को छोड़ दीजिए. अब वी हैव कंप्लीटेड ऑल टोटल डेटार्स अकाउंट, बिल्स रिसीवेबल अकाउंट, ऑल द आइटम्स वी हैव टेकन. बिफोर क्लोजिंग टोटल डेटार्स अकाउंट यू मस्ट क्लोज बिल्स रिसीवेबल अकाउंट. पहले इसको, क्योंकि इसका बैलेंस जो रहेगा वो कहां पर जाएगा? डेटार्स अकाउंट में जाएगा. तो क्रेडिट साइड, क्रेडिट साइड इफ यू सी द टोटल 18,000 plus 2,800 plus 15,400 36,200. Credit side 36,200. From 36,200 subtract 5,000. The balancing figure is 31,200. What it represents? Debit side पे कम है, तो इसका मतलब ये बिल्स रिसीव करें. We have received the bill. ये कौन सा अकाउंट है? ये बिल्स रिसीवेबल अकाउंट. तो एंट्री फॉर बिल्स रिसीव्ड, bills receivable account debtor to debtors account. When we receive the bill from debtors, the entry will be bills receivable account debtor to debtors account. So bills receivable is debited to debtors, balancing figure 31,200, and debtors account is credited by bills receivable 31,200. ये 31,200 यहां से आ और ये बैलेंसिंग फिगर. तो बिल्स रिसीवेबल अकाउंट डेटा टू डेटार्स अकाउंट, डेटार्स को क्रेडिट हो गया. दिस अकाउंट इज क्लोज्ड. नाउ विल फाइंड आउट द बैलेंसिंग फिगर इन टोटल डेटार्स अकाउंट. Credit side, if you take the total on all the items, credit side 2,05,700, 2,05,700 minus 30,000 minus 2,800. So balancing figure you are getting 1,72,900. What is this 1,72,900? Credit sales. यही मालूम करना है हमको. Ultimate objective is we have to find out the sales. So by preparing this total debtors account, we got credit sales 1,72,900. Now we require total sales. Total sales means cash sales plus credit sales. Cash sales are given in the problem 52,500. Last line it is given 52,500 cash sales. Credit sales we have calculated 1,72,900. दोनों को ऐड कर लो 2,25,400 is the total sales. That's it. So we have completed the short problems on accounts from incomplete records. So if you want the complete command, please watch the theory video first. Theory of incomplete accounts from incomplete records, then you watch the first and second video. These are the basic things. See here, just like a tree, the whole tree depends on the roots. जितने roots strong रहेंगे उतना tree strong रहेगा. तो यहाँ पर roots जो है वो first video, the first video theory and the very first video of problems. तो starting के first second video को अगर concentration के साथ watch करेंगे, then definitely you can enjoy the lecture, you can get the command on the subject, on the topic. So I expect that my viewers are enjoying the subject, they are getting a lot of knowledge. So please keep watching, gain more and more knowledge, so that knowledge is power. The main thing you are having is power. Nowadays there is a lot of competition in the market. Only the fittest can survive. Only having the degree, passed the examination, no, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen until and unless you have the knowledge, you have the command on the subject. So please watch the video till the end, subscribe my channel, and watch all the videos, not only this but also apart from this. Tell to your friends that I'm having so many subjects in the playlist, from MBA, BCom, BBA, MCom, all the subjects I'm uploading the videos on different subjects. Okay, see you then again in the next video on the main problems of single entry or accounts from incomplete records. Accounts from incomplete records.